Episode 9 is set to introduce a total of 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, that is of course one thing that a lot of people are concerned about, is of course whether or not the 8 new characters in this movie will take away the screen time of some of the major characters like Kylo Ren, Rey, Leia, Lando, Luke, you name it. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very interesting that leads to one of the identities of one of the Knights of Ren in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that during the month of November, over in Cardington, a scene was shot with Adam Driver and 6 unnamed actors, portraying the Knights of Ren on the set of a swamp world. It's described that a large animatronic was used that is said to be a spider-like creature, and is a practical effect. It's described that one of the unnamed actors portraying one of the knights was leaning against a large tree. It's described that the costume design for that Knight of Ren was referred to as Daizo Ren, D-A-I-Z-O, where he is also described to be called the Third. Another sequence that was filmed included Daizo Ren and Kylo Ren walking through water in a swamp with the other 5 knights in back of Kylo and Daizo. It's described that the set was a large pool with effects that were added to make it appear murky in a green color. It's said to be JJ's parallel to the planet of Dagobah in, of course, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. So, I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the Knights of Ren, ever since the release of The Force Awakens back in December of 2015, a lot of people have wanted to see the Knights of Ren in action to see exactly what they were really capable of and what they could actually do on the big screen. So, as far as one of the other knights goes, alright, this character is referred to as Daizo Ren. Like I say, D-A-I-Z-O Ren. Another word, alright, another name I should say, that is indeed a Japanese male name. And you can really see that JJ is really trying to base the characters of the knights off of course, samurai or something around those lines in, of course, past movies and use that as inspiration. So, the other piece that I do want to go over is the animatronic. I believe that this obviously has got to be the Oracle that we went over a couple of weeks ago, or should I say a couple of days ago. The Oracle is basically this large creature that Kylo and the Knights seek out on this swamp world, and this Oracle actually answers a lot of questions for Kylo Ren about Rey, and about himself, and even about the beyond. And you can really see exactly what they're trying to do. You can really see, like, the, all the different mythology inspirations from other stories that J.J. Abrams is cherry-picking from, and inserting that into Episode 9. So, what do I think about the name Daizo Ren? Do I think it's a good name? Do I think it's a bad name? Well, I'm not quite sure how it sounds to me. To me, it sounds a little bit off. I think it kind of sounds cool. I actually do prefer what the lead Knight of Ren is being referred to, at least for now, is of course Kylo Ren. I like that. That sounds like that man is in charge. It sounds like that Knight of Ren really knows what he's doing, and that is actually described to be the lead Knight of Ren in Episode 9. So, like I say, we're still not quite sure exactly who Keri Russell is portraying in this movie. It seems less and less likely that she is going to be portraying a Knight of Ren in this story, and that she's more around the lines of a bounty hunter, since she does indeed have a purple outfit in the film, and wears a helmet that a lot of people refer to as basically looking like a Power Ranger, if you guys saw the leaked photographs. So, with that being said, this Knight of Ren in particular, alright, is actually referred to also as the Third. So that could also be a little code name that this is the Third Knight of Ren as far as ranking goes. You know, we've been hearing a lot of things that the Knights of Ren, each and every one of the knights have their own ranking system. And that actual rank basically has a specific speciality that each and every knight has in this movie. And I think that's going to be one interesting thing, and something of a parallel of what we got in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, right? If you look at Rogue One, each character within the group has their own specialty. And that's the exact thing that JJ is aiming to do with the Knights of Ren, which I honestly think is brilliant. I think it's great. I think these guys are basically dark side versions of the heroes that we got in Rogue One. Basically, right, if you think about it at the end of the day. But moving on forward, what I really do want to focus on is this swamp world that Kylo and the Knights travel to. So Kylo and Daizo are actually described to be walking through swampy worlds, or swampy waters, I should say, on this world, and the set itself is actually described to be a pool that was filled with all these different effects and whatever chemicals they added in there in order to make it look murky and green. Kind of like Dagobah, right? So you can really see the parallels that J.J. Abrams is drawing from in the original trilogy and inserting that into episode 9, which could be a good or a bad thing. You don't want to copy things too much. You know, you can do little nods here and there, but if you go too far, people will just see it as plain copying the other films. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this Knight of Ren in particular being referred to as Daezo Ren, and specifically the third. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.